Now the time has come where we human beings have to go beyond the approach of power and fear-based manipulation of each other. Because when we are following this unconscious, automatic way of going through force and fear, where everybody is getting in some way manipulated, we are also keeping each other in an unconscious state, and we are trying to suppress and push down each other to the level of the animal. And that has been going on. And now the time has come where we have to see that that is an ongoing fight which creates more distraction, more pain, more suffering, and does not bring about a healthy development. So it is very important to recognize this and bring about a different way of going, where we consider each other consciously, sympathetically, so that we are looking more compassionately with each other in an accepting and respectful way, and try to understand what is really the case. Because without such an approach, what is happening is everybody is just believing that the way it appears to oneself, this is the truth, this is the reality. And we go on trying to punish each other on the basis of certain judgments which we have become accustomed to, which is part of a conditioning. And thereby we don't realize that each other person has a different background, a different conditioning, and that it is not going to bring about a healthy development, an intelligent development, when it goes on in the same level of fighting, punishing, taking revenge, and in this way enable more distraction, more violence, more unconsciousness. Now you can see, when everybody is considering more carefully, that individually in your own life as well as in the world development, in the politics, when there are extremisms of different kind, it's very easy to condemn and to punish and to go into the fighting approach, and one can feel right, and one uses all the knowledge just to fight. But what one doesn't really see is that this kind of fighting is not solving the real issues. We have to recognize that behind those who are going in unloving, unsensible, destructive, fanatic ways, there are misunderstandings, basic misunderstandings. And it is necessary to bridge, to connect, and create ways and means so that a different understanding can be brought in. And that is possible, that is needed, and that is what will make the difference. But we have to realize that it is not just a kind of logical, rational thing alone. It is also connecting to oneself, connecting to what way we are connecting to each other. The ongoing unconscious undercurrent, comparison, competition, judgment, which labels each other in certain ways and fixes each other in certain boxes. And this is part of a basic misunderstanding. And this is where we need to bring our attention to. And as anything which is valuable in a deeper sense, we have to start with ourselves. We have to bring attention to that what is taking place in our way of looking at ourselves, our way of connecting to each other, and the undercurrent factors which are working as attitudes, beliefs in our way of going about life. It is such a way of connecting with a conscious emphasis to look at each other compassionately, to look at each other with a willingness to understand rather than to judge and to label. That will make difference, because then you can see that everybody who is going in negative and destructive ways, they are going into that because they believe that that is right. They believe that that is the only way. They don't have a perspective. Just to punish them, just to condemn them, just to suppress it does not bring understanding, because this tendency is there in some level, going on directly and indirectly, supported by us also, as long as we are not consciously going about it. And this is where, rather than going into the approach of punishment and condemnation and giving people just only guilt feelings, the initiative has to be there to bring in understanding, to listen to each other sympathetically, whatever be the other's state, howsoever fanatic or dogmatic or extremistic somebody has been in their approach, to give the other chance to express, to open up and to consider. That is why the very approach of punishment in our modern society we have to reconsider. Of course, it is necessary to see that what is destructive and violent is not blindly going on. So to encounter that, intelligent and careful, sympathetic steps have to be taken. But it does not mean just going into revengeful, angry, hateful, destructive approaches. This unconscious anger, hate, and violence in us, we have to confront. That is how our past is. That is how the mixture of the animal and the human unconscious process is working out. But now we have to bring light there. We have to bring attention there and see that something very, very important, very, very basic is necessary. And only that will bring about a real solution to all these ongoing destructive processes, whether it is on the level of ecology, whether it is on the level of extremist violence or terrorism. All this can only move in a healthy direction and bring really valuable solutions when consciously there is an attempt to understand oneself and understand each other, brought into the life process of each individual who wants to do something for that. So I would recommend to everybody who comes across this Also to share it with everyone in whatever way you can. Pass on this message, pass on this information, pass on this perspective, so that it can become more a topic to consider. And this is very important for our present period now.